You know, sometimes you see a film that's almost 90 years old, but it feels like it could have been made yesterday. That's exactly what we're diving into today, Charlie Chaplin's absolute masterpiece, Modern Times.
Okay, let's just jump right in with the film's most iconic image. This isn't just a funny gag, it's the entire movie summed up in one moment. We see a worker so completely consumed and broken by the assembly line that he literally becomes part of the machine, his body stuck in a loop he just can't escape.
And this right here is the genius of Chaplin. This isn't just comedy for the sake of comedy. We're gonna see exactly how he used laughter as his most powerful weapon. He built this brilliant, piercing critique of a world in crisis, and he disguised it all as incredible slapstick.
Now you have to think about the timing. This was no accident. Chaplin released this film right into the thick of the Great Depression. This wasn't some fantasy to escape from reality. No, it was a direct confrontation with what everyone was feeling. Mass unemployment, the dehumanizing grind of industrial work, and just this crippling economic uncertainty.
What's so incredible is that these questions from 1936 feel like they could have been written this morning. I mean, we are grappling with the exact same stuff in our world of AI, automation, and the gig economy. The technology looks different, sure, but that fundamental human problem, it hasn't changed a bit. So this whole struggle is personified in one character, Chaplin's iconic tramp. His journey is basically our guide through all the chaos of this new industrial society. And Chaplin does not waste a single second. The film opens with this brilliant and not so subtle visual comparison. He cuts from a shot of sheep being herded mindlessly into a pen directly to a shot of workers flooding into the factory. The message is just crystal clear from the get-go. The system treats people like livestock.
So the tramp's story plays out in these key stages. First, he's just a cog on the assembly line, and he's literally driven mad by the pace. Then, after his breakdown, he finds this real human connection with the gaming, another person completely left behind by the system. And together, they start to dream of a simple, decent life that the modern world just seems determined to deny them.
This completely absurd invention just perfectly captures the film's whole point. So, the feeding machine is designed to eliminate lunch breaks, to squeeze every last drop of productivity out of the workers. But of course, it malfunctions in the most disastrous way, basically becoming a torture device. It's hilarious, but it's also horrifying. A perfect illustration of what happens when efficiency trumps basic human needs.
Now let's dig into one of the most fascinating technical things about this film. At a time when talkies were taking over Hollywood, Chaplin made a deliberate choice to make what is, for all intents and purposes, a silent film. And this wasn't because he was behind the times, it was a really powerful artistic statement. You see, Chaplin knew the tramp's real power was that he was universal. Anybody, anywhere in the world could understand him without needing a translation. Giving him a specific voice would have just shrunk his appeal. So instead, sound is used for the things that oppress him. The loud factory whistles, the crackling voice of the boss on the TV screen, while the actual people remain defiantly and much more expressively silent.
And here's another little bit of genius. The film was shot at the old silent speed of 18 frames per second, but it was projected at the new sound speed of 24. So what does that do? Well, it makes all the action on screen look unnaturally fast and frantic. He's literally turning the people into twitchy, broken machines.
So this brings us right to the heart of it all. Why does this movie, made way back during the Great Depression, feel so incredibly prophetic? Why does it speak so directly to our world, right now? The details change, but the core worries are exactly the same. In the 1930s, it was the rise of the factory. Today, it's the rise of automation, the instability of the gig economy, and the dawn of AI. It's the same basic fear, just wearing a different outfit. And think about this for a second. Decades before anyone was even thinking about workplace surveillance, Chaplin gave us this image, the factory boss on a giant screen, watching his workers' every single move. He even follows the tramp into the bathroom to yell at him to get back to work. It's a chillingly spot-on prediction of modern surveillance. Seriously, the film's themes are a direct reflection of our world. The fear of being replaced by a machine, the precariousness of modern jobs, the feeling of always being watched, and that nagging sense that the so-called American dream is just out of reach. Yep, Chaplin saw all of it coming.
So after all this struggle and all this chaos, what's the final message Chaplin leaves us with? You might think it would be pretty bleak, but it's not. In fact, it's pretty much the exact opposite.
The reason this film has so much power is because of this amazing mix. The physical comedy is just always going to be funny. It talks about things we all feel, like being overwhelmed or just trying to get by. And, most importantly, it offers hope. Not a cheesy, unrealistic hope, but a real hope that comes from facing down the problems with a stubborn resilience.
And this is the profound final statement. After losing jobs, getting arrested, and having their dreams totally crushed, the tramp and the gamine haven't lost the really important things: their humanity and each other. They just walk hand in hand down an open road into a totally uncertain future, but they do it together, and that right there is the victory.
And so, Chaplin leaves us with this final, nagging question. It was a challenge to the world of 1936, and it's a challenge that feels even more urgent for us today. In our own modern times, with all our pursuit of efficiency and progress and automation, are we remembering to hold on to our humanity, just like the tramp did?